Tracy Desjardins runs a business called TMJ Medical Aesthetics and is located in Burlington. TMJ is a medical aesthetics business, and Tracy is becoming an expert in her field. Welcome, Tracy.
Thanks, Marie.
Tracy, last time you were here at the studio, you were located in Hamilton. Now you're back in Burlington, and where are you located now?
I'm actually downtown Burlington on John Street, which is in the center core, and I've joined a girl that opened her own business in July, and she does aesthetics, more nails, pedicures, manicures. So what I offer now is a more personal service because I book my own appointments. I may have some people in the morning, a break in the middle of the day, people in the evening, so I can come and go on my own schedule. And I live in Burlington, so it's nothing for me to come over for 2 hours when I walk across the street, basically.
Yeah, that's great, especially if someone does want an appointment on the spot. You're right there for them.
And evenings as well.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me, what is the difference? Now, you were saying this company, this lady has aesthetics, yet you are medical aesthetics. What's the difference?
Okay, medical aesthetics is actually using a machine. In my case, it's a laser or a microderm machine to do the process. Okay. So for instance, Andrea, who runs Totally Nailed, the place I'm in, she has facials. Now, doing a facial is mostly doing it by hand with a little bit of steam. When I do a facial, it's a photo facial, which is using the laser to do the process. And in that case, you are working with heat, and you are working with things that absorb heat. So you don't walk out of there feeling quite the same as a regular facial. You're getting actually large doses of heat zapped onto your face, but you do get better results. It's not quite the same relaxing treatment. It's more from a medical point of view.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, one of the services that you do offer, and I guess this relates to that, is wrinkle softening. So is this the procedure that's used to do something like
Yes. This? Basically what happens is that the laser, the handpiece, emits light, and the light turns to heat. So when we do a photofacial, we're actually giving you a light sunburn. With a light sunburn, you're actually, in a sense, peeling or sloughing off the dead skin on the top. The dead skin on top will have very fine lines, whether it's between your brows, around your eyes, across the lip. So those fine lines are being sloughed off, and it's like baby skin that's underneath. So when you do 2 or 3 treatments, roughly 2 weeks apart to get your skin up to par, then after that you'd probably come back about once every 6 months to regenerate the skin at that point.
Okay, that's great. And you also help people with rejuvenation, getting rid of age spots, blotchy skins, and spider veins, that type of thing. How is that done with the same procedures?
Right. So the laser itself, being like sunlight, if you think of sunlight absorbing into a black blouse, anything dark it'll absorb into. So an age spot that's brown or black almost, it will heat it up, darken it because it absorbed the heat, and then it'll start to slough off that age spot. So it crusts up a little bit and sloughs off. If it's not that dark, it will still absorb the heat and just fade it. And I give the example of if you had sunlight coming through your sliding door, it's going to fade the rug in front of your door,
of course,
or fade your dark furniture. So in this case, it's the heat that turns to that absorbs into that brown, and the same with a spider vein. It absorbs into the spider vein and shrinks the vessel. So it makes the vessel more narrow, more tight, and you don't see it through your skin that way.
Oh, excellent. Now, one of the major things that you offer with your business also is laser hair removal.
Right.
And now, how do you find that people react to that?
Okay, there's a couple things with laser hair removal. First of all, some people think that it's going to hurt a lot.
Right.
Now, again, you're looking at heat, light coming out of your laser, which turns to heat, and it's a ray of light. So the ray of light is looking to absorb into something dark. So it absorbs into the root of your hair. And when you do the first treatment, say for instance underarms, you have it shaved before you come in, the light will go down and basically burn the root. So all of that root is dead, and that hair is gone. After about 4 to 6 weeks, you'll have some regrowth. The second treatment is getting the new hair. people will sometimes say to me, I still have that hair. Well, it's a different hair that's come back in the same
Right.
location. So each time you need to do the treatment 7 times, roughly 6 weeks apart, and you're weeding down the regrowth each time. But the reaction can sometimes be, oh, I think it's going to hurt, you know, I'm worried maybe my underarms are more sensitive. I have a cooling device, which is like a vacuum cleaner that spits cool air. So that cool air, it neutralizes the heat from the laser. So I'm moving it along each time, and it makes it so that you don't have the surface redness, like if someone's having upper lip done.
Right.
They don't have the surface redness right on the spot, and it's far more comfortable for them at the time.
Okay, that's great. And so are there other products or services that you do offer?
Yes. Also, I do offer microdermabrasion, which is very fine diamonds on the top of 3 different heads, coarse, medium, and fine. So it relates something like sandpaper. So you're sanding off the table using the coarse for the big bumps and then down to the fine. And it's attached to a vacuum, and that suctions off the dead skin and gives more of a tightness to your skin. So it works well to brighten your skin so that you don't have the dullness, the dryness coming off. It doesn't do that much for pigmentation. So the people with pigmentation can still benefit from microdermabrasion to give their skin some brightness, but they need to have the laser photofacial to get rid of the pigmentation. In addition, I have some skincare products, a line of products which go hand in hand with photofacial, with using the laser to, especially for pigmentation, and everyone should be using a good sunscreen. But people that do get their pigmentation removed by photofacial, they have to wear a good sunscreen or the sun damage will come back. With a good sunscreen, they're good to go.
Right. And now I understand, with laser hair removal, is there a precaution people need to take as well with
Being in the sun?
getting it in the sun?
What they need to do is we don't want them to be too tanned on any of their visits. So for instance, they have to look at their skin the day or two before they're coming for a visit. If they've been on holidays and they're still brown, we'd like their skin to go back to roughly their normal untanned color so that we don't absorb into the brown skin.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you have a treatment today and if it's exposed, like your upper lip, and you're going tomorrow to Cuba, you've got like a light sunburn on your face at that point. You don't want more sunburn on your face.
Right.
So a couple days is fine. And most people, even if they're going away, but the day they travel and the day after, they're good to go. But you wouldn't want to travel like at noon and just had that exposure in the morning and then hit the sun again. Think of your skin as having a light sunburn, and you treat it as you would a light sunburn.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and we should always take very good care of our skin anyways.
Everybody needs a sunscreen. I put a sunscreen on people right away after any of their treatments, on their face, that is.
Right.
And even when they go out in the sun during the winter time, there still is quite a bit of sun damage, and it can go through the glass of the car as well.
Oh, definitely, and especially in this day and age, the sun gets stronger every year, and
More
we
damage.
do notice that even in the wintertime, that we should be applying some form of a sunscreen. shouldn't
And
we?
most people, I recommend to get it into their daily habit. Wash their face, do their teeth, put on the sunscreen as a moisturizer. Use it as your moisturizer. Some people say to me, well, they've got a tinted moisturizer that has an SPF 10 or 15. In the winter, that's fine, unless you're going skiing, something that has a lot of reflection. But in the summer, you should have an SPF of 30 and above.
Excellent information. People should definitely know that. Oh.
And also, excuse me, Marie, make sure they have UVA coverage as well. UVB is what the sun protection factor tells you, whether it's 30, 40, 50 sun protection factor. UVA, you have to look for 4 different chemicals. The one that's the most prevalent in treating it is zinc oxide. And in the old days, the lifeguards used to have it on their nose, but it was like a paste.
Yeah, it was white, yes.
Yeah,
I
they couldn't blend it in.
Yeah.
And now the zinc is micronized into a small particle, so it can be blended into to different creams. So you have to look for a high enough zinc oxide. The one I recommend in my line is 9% zinc, so that's a pretty high amount.
It is. It's definitely quite a bit more than most products that you would
The
find on the
drugstore
shelf.
brands are roughly 3%.
Yeah.
It's not really enough,
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio today, Tracy.
Thanks, Marie. So people can just check my website for the specials that are currently on, and also for any seasonal specials.
Very good. And that website to find her at is TMJMA.com, or you can call her directly at 905-399-46 888-888-9294 to book your consultation or appointment.
This has been a People in Connection TV presentation. People in Connection specializes in internet TV and online promotions, serving the Golden Horseshoe since 1997. Have a bold business presence and start connecting today.